By 2030, one of every 5 drivers in America will be 65 years of age or older. As you age, it is important for senior drivers to know and understand how to adjust for slower reflexes and weaker vision. Also, driving techniques and vehicle technologies change over the years, and it is imperative that senior drivers keep up with the times. It's important to recognize your limitations and be aware of everything you can do to be safe on the road, so let's get connected. Our guest today is Rhonda Shaw, Manager of Traffic Safety Advocacy and Community Impact with AAA. Rhonda is responsible for supporting AAA's efforts related to school-based and senior traffic safety programs and corporate social responsibility. Rhonda has extensive knowledge in the area of bicycle and pedestrian safety and senior mobility, including the National Car Fit program and Senior Driver Expos. Rhonda works on behalf of AAA to bring attention to these important issues and provide solutions to keep all road users safe. Rhonda, when one thinks about it, driving really is a complicated task, utilizing sight, sound, and thought in a split second. But can driving skills be improved even though one has been driving for, let's say, 50 to 60 years?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really glad you mentioned this. Driving is a very complicated task, but often we just get in the car and we go on autopilot, if you will, and we really don't think about how much is involved. So understanding mind and body changes that occur as we age really is critical for safe driving. The natural process of aging can affect your vision, your hearing, reaction time, mental fitness. And as a senior driver, that means it can also affect your driving abilities and even increase risk of traffic crashes. So since these changes can occur very slowly, you want to evaluate them early and often before putting yourself and others at risk. Driving skills can absolutely be improved. In fact, driving is a skill that can and should be continually improved. A driver improvement course online or in the classroom can help drivers keep driving knowledgeable fresh and get the most out of their vehicle. At AAA, we offer really great courses for seniors that I highly recommend.
Very good. And what questions should we ask ourselves as seniors or as we approach the senior age when trying to assess our driving strengths and weaknesses?
I think it's really important, first and foremost, to be honest with yourself. If you're noticing changes in your vision, in your hearing, or anything with cognition, talk to your doctor about what those changes could mean and how they could place you or others on the road in danger. The good news is that mature judgment and years of driving experience and good driving habits often can help seniors compensate for some of these changes.
Our guest today is Rhonda Shaw, Manager of Traffic Safety Advocacy and Community Impact with AAA. Rhonda is responsible for supporting AAA's efforts related to school-based and senior traffic safety programs. Perhaps the one thing that can be overwhelming to a senior, Rhonda, is traffic, and more traffic. That's why they often favor local roads over highways. How can they become more comfortable and confident in these situations?
That's true, right? Traffic seems to be more and more congested no matter where you live. And I often hear that, local roads can be just as daunting as the highways. Something as simple as a driver's position in their vehicle is critical when it comes to driving control. For example, proper positioning allows drivers greater steering control as well as a dramatic increase in vision around their vehicle and down the road. And seniors are really good at something called self-regulation. So this is the modification of driving activity by driving less or avoiding challenging situations in response to declining abilities. And the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety found that self-regulation really is a great way for older drivers to maintain their independence and extend the period over which they can safely drive. So my advice here would be to drive at times when you're the most comfortable. That may mean avoiding rush hour or not driving in inclement weather or driving at night.
Now, most people get really tired while driving long distances. I know that's the case for myself. Many seniors live alone and can't avoid the trips if they want to see their grandkids. Are there some practical tips in staying alert while behind the wheel? And what are some of the common mistakes of older drivers?
I think this applies to all drivers, young and old alike. Feeling sleepy is especially dangerous when you're driving. Sleepiness slows your reaction time, it decreases awareness, it impairs your judgment, just like drugs or alcohol would. So people who are sleep deprived behind the wheel behave very similar in ways to folks who are drunk on the road. The impact this has on traffic safety should not be underestimated. First, never drive if you're tired. It's simply not worth the risk. Remain alert, avoid drowsiness, get plenty of sleep. We recommend at least 6 hours the night before a long trip. Travel at times when you're normally awake, and stay overnight rather than driving straight through. It's very important to schedule breaks to stretch and refresh every 2 hours or 100 miles. And if possible, try to travel with a passenger that's going to stay awake.
Right, that's so very important. And our guest is Rhonda Shaw, Manager of Traffic Safety Advocacy and Community Impact with AAA. Now, Rhonda, how can I find out about transportation services in my community? And how can I find a volunteer to drive an elderly couple on doctor visits and shopping trips? Can I find this information through AAA, or do I have to go somewhere else?
You can. We do have some of that information on our website, but it's going to vary greatly from state to state. So I would recommend checking out your local area agency on aging. That would be a really great place to start, as well as your local senior center. These folks can actually pair you with information on supplemental transportation options and volunteer driver programs in your local community.
Now, a couple of questions that seniors have asked me, and so I thought I would take this opportunity to ask you. Would one automatically get an insurance discount by taking a driver safety course?
So insurance discounts and regulations vary greatly from state to state. AAA members can check with their local club for special benefits or discounts on the course. And if your automobile is insured through AAA, you can check with your local agent to see if a discount applies upon course completion.
And Rhonda, will a person's auto insurance premium increase automatically at age 65? I know I've heard that several times before in the past. Now, I don't know whether it's a fable or whether that's a fact.
Yeah, no, not necessarily. So there's another side to that story that I don't think we're hearing. Senior drivers have a wealth of driving experience to draw upon, and that actually can give them an edge. Experience plays a huge role in car insurance rates. In fact, the lack of it is a primary reason why new drivers, like teens, tend to pay much, much more for their coverage. Senior drivers also tend to drive less. We talked a little bit about self-regulation. So that could also have a positive impact on premiums. After all, the less amount that you're on the road, the less likely you are to be involved in a crash. So again, it's going to vary greatly from state to state. So it's really best to check with your agent.
This is Weekend Connection on BBN, and our guest today is Rhonda Shaw, Manager of Traffic Safety Advocacy and Community Impact with AAA. Rhonda has extensive knowledge in the areas of bicycle and pedestrian safety and senior mobility. Now, Rhonda, is it true that older drivers pose the greatest risk to other road users?
Not true at all. There's this common misconception out there that seniors are unsafe or unfit to be on the road, but age really has nothing to do with medical fitness to drive. So, as an example, you could have a female, age 88, in very good health, taking only one medication, let's say for high blood pressure, and then compare her to a 49-year-old man who's diabetic and on multiple medications and perhaps a little overweight. In terms of medical fitness to drive, the 88-year-old woman is likely more fit to be behind the wheel than the 49-year-old man.
Now, I understand that there is a free online tool that provides feedback about medication side effects and how they may impact safe driving abilities. Can you tell us about this?
Sure. This is AAA Roadwise Rx. So 8 out of 10 senior drivers that are age 65 and older take medications on a regular basis. We know this. And despite high prescription and over-the-counter medication use, almost half of all senior drivers using medications have never, not once, talked with their healthcare provider about how these drugs might affect safe driving abilities. So Roadwise Rx is a free, confidential online tool developed by our AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety, where you can go in and explore how medications can affect safe driving. You record all of your medications in one central location, and it also provides customized feedback on how your prescription and over-the-counter drugs, herbal supplements, and even foods can interact with each other and perhaps not keep you so safe on the road.
Now, what is a CarFit clinic? We hear that term from time to time, and I am a member of AAA myself. What is a CarFit clinic, and are they available in most areas?
So AAA has a program that we share with the American Occupational Therapy Association called CarFit, and I like to say CarFit is exactly as it sounds. It was designed specifically to assess person-to-vehicle fit. It's an educational program where we look at how well you fit in your car. So there's a 12-point checklist, and we look at everything from, are you sitting a safe enough distance from your airbag? Is your head restraint in the proper position to help prevent whiplash in the event of a crash? The program also provides information and materials on community-specific resources that could enhance your safety as a driver and or increase mobility in the community. And you can find a CarFit event near you by visiting the CarFit website. That's car-fit.org, and then under Find an Event.
And our guest is Rhonda Shaw, Manager of Traffic Safety Advocacy and Community Impact with AAA. Now, Rhonda, while older minds may be just as sharp as younger ones, they often react more slowly. How important is it that seniors become involved in brain fitness exercises?
Yeah, brain fitness for seniors has fast become an important part of lifelong well-being. Brain training that targets memory and attention and focus can lead to better recollection, faster reaction time, and just really an overall sharper mind. So I always think it's a great idea.
Now, Rhonda, please instruct our listeners on how they can contact AAA to obtain more information on senior driving safety.
Well, I hope everybody will visit our senior driver website. It's seniordriving.aaa.com. And this really is a one-stop shop for all of the things we discussed here today. You'll find links to Roadwise Rx and information on driver safety courses and licensing laws in each state. It's a terrific tool for family members, too. Initiating a conversation about safe driving with an older driver, especially if it's your parent or a grandparent, it can be challenging for a lot of people. So we've created tools and resources to help families with these challenges.
You have been listening to Week in Connection on BBN, and we've been talking to Rhonda Shaw, Manager of Traffic Safety Advocacy and Community Impact with AAA. Rhonda, as we wrap up the program today, do you have any other tips or helpful information to share?
So one of the best tips I can provide to all drivers and listeners out there would be to avoid distractions when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving poses a risk to everyone on the road and remains a significant contributor to motor vehicle crashes. And remember, just because you aren't driving distracted doesn't mean that your neighbor isn't. So I think it's so important to keep an eye out while you're driving. Really, it only takes a second to send a text or look down at the phone. And when we're talking about driving, a second can really mean the difference between life and death. So stay safe out there, everyone.
And Rhonda, you have a very safe weekend as well. And thank you for joining with us for Week in Connection.
My pleasure.
Thank you for listening to this feature, a production of BBN, the Bible Broadcasting Network. BBN provides 24-hour Christian programming, great Christian music, and Bible teaching. Listen to BBN by clicking the link in the description.